Josh, would you like to come on up?
Sure.
Yes. Sorry, I sit in that chair every time, I think. Do that
You could just get
every
rid
week.
of it.
Really talking about the
Chairs, you can give us everything. Well, so, I think these were brought last week to give you all an opportunity to look through them. This is a resolution which would establish different criminal, civil fees, assessments, as they're being called now. This is the result of a state statute that has passed requiring certain changes. Jason and I had an opportunity to sit down. We sat down with Judge Wittig, Sandy Reekie, Circuit Clerk, probably, I don't know what, Jason, a month or so back.
Yeah.
And kind of went through this line by line, and different things. Some of these are mandatory. A lot of these are mandatory. We don't have a lot of discretion in this. We have a little bit of discretion in some of these funds that the money is distributed to. But essentially what this resolution is the required, or let me back up, I guess, first. I think the goal of the legislation of the statute is to get some uniformity in filing fees among different counties. So that you don't, if you go to Johnson County, Polk County, or somewhere in central Illinois, the filing fees, the costs that you pay are at least somewhat similar to what you would pay in other counties. I think that's kind of the primary goal of the statute, because right now they're a little bit all over the place. So that's one of the primary goals in this, is to get a little bit more uniformity. And so we don't have a ton of discretion in these things. We do have a little bit of discretion in where certain fines and fees, where that money ends up going. So that's what this resolution does. We're required to pass this in order to set these schedules, and in order to determine exactly where those monies will go within the county. And so that's laid out, and then it's divided up in different schedules, fee schedules. So depending on what type of case it is, whether if it's a civil case, say it's a probate case that an attorney is opening up, there's a certain schedule that would apply for that type of case. If it's just a regular civil lawsuit, there's a schedule that would apply to that as to what the fees and costs are and where those are distributed and where those go. In criminal cases, there's many different schedules depending on what type of case it is, whether it's a felony drug case or if it's a misdemeanor battery case or if it's a traffic case. There's a different schedule that applies to each one of those cases, and it's set forth here in this resolution as to what would be collected on those types of cases, and then where those assessments would be distributed to. And I can't really tell you until we get into this, and this is implemented and starts, of how it's going to, what the effect is going to be. I think there's going to be a major effect with this as to how much the county ends up collecting. It could be more than we collect now. It could be less, because there is within the statute the ability to, especially on the criminal side of things, for defendants to waive a lot of the fees and assessments that are being implemented if they meet certain criteria, primarily income level. If you're at a certain level of poverty, then you're eligible for a waiver of a lot of these assessments, or at least a percentage waiver of a lot of these assessments. And so until we get into this and we see a number of people that are eligible for a waiver, what percentage of waiver they're eligible for, we'll just really have to wait and see how it affects how much of these fees are able to be collected. So again, we gave these out to you last week to look through, to kind of give an idea, maybe to develop any questions that you might have about it. We do need to get this passed as soon as possible. The reason being is that statute comes into effect, and these assessments would come into effect July 1st. So, and looking through that, does anyone have any questions about how that will work? Again, I really do anticipate it will be a process here of seeing kind of how this plays out. We, as far as the county's portion of the assessments that are charged, will go.
Do you want to discuss, and I think did we add part of the fees, the money, the CAC fund to help, to get them a little money as they help assist and do some things? Do you want to discuss that a little bit?
Yeah, let me cover that.
Child Advocacy Center Fund, is that what it is?
There are some fees in certain cases. I'm trying to find one of the schedules here.
It's on page 9.
Specifically that has that fee.
Towards the top there, I think.
Yeah, okay, so for example, on page 9, there's Schedule 5. So this is a schedule that would apply to a generic misdemeanor offense. So say a misdemeanor battery case. Somebody gets charged with that, they're pled guilty or found guilty, these assessments would apply. $282 would go to the county treasurer, and then it would be divided among those sub-funds that you see there, which is A through J. Part E of that is $195 of the $282 to the county treasurer would go to the county general fund, and then it would be distributed pursuant to I through 6 there. And one, so in Part F, specifically to Jason's question, one item or one area that $10 of that $282 would go to is to the Child Advocacy Center to help support them. We utilize the Child Advocacy Center quite a bit. The Sheriff's Department uses them, the state police, I believe, utilize them as well as the Metropolis City Police. Anytime there's a type of sexual assault on a child, we generally like to use the Child Advocacy Center. They interview the child. They have they're experts in doing so. It's audio taped, videotaped, and those are often things are very valuable when it comes to a trial and those types of cases. And oftentimes are something that can be played directly to the jury as evidence in those cases. So it's very valuable evidence, very valuable assistance and assisting in prosecuting those cases, those types of cases. So that would go to the Child Advocacy Center, and I as much as we use them, as valuable as they are to assisting in those cases, I think it's something that's very important for us to help fund with a portion of the assessments that are assessed.
And would you just, do we know what a current speeding violation is total and what it's going to go up to in July? What's the difference? I mean, I know it's increased.
Yeah,
that's based on the state, it's not us locally.
That's right. So just a regular speeding ticket, of course, right now is if you're going between 1 and 20 miles an hour over the limit. Right now it's a $120 ticket. That will go up July 1st based on this statute, not by anything that the county's doing, but based on the state statute. That goes up to $164 from 120 to 164. And you'll see on page 14 that would be a schedule under Schedule 12. Dispositions, it's paragraph or section, it's paragraph 13, Schedule 12 on page 14. That's dispositions under Supreme Court Rule 529. What that is basically a ticket that you can pay over the counter, that you can go to the circuit clerk's office and just pay it. You don't have to appear in court. You can pay them online. There's different ways to pay those, but it's no court appearance required traffic offense as it states there. So that goes from a $120 ticket to a $164 ticket, and you can see how that $164 will be divided as of July 1st. $100 would go to, of the 164 goes to the county treasurer, and is divided, as you see, A through E. That's how that would be divided up. 20 to the automation fund, 20 to the document storage fund, 5 to a circuit clerk operation and administrative fund. Again, those are required. Those we do not have discretion about. And then $55 will go to the county general fund, 14 to the state treasurer, and then $50 to the treasurer of the unit of local government of the arresting agency. So if it's the city of Metropolis that writes that ticket, $50 goes to the city of Metropolis. If it's state police, it goes to the state police. Or Brookport would go to Brookport as well. So that's how that would be divided up. But yes, it will go to 164. And again, I don't know how that's going to play out as far as if we will see more revenue, less revenue.
So if the county writes it, where does it go then?
It goes to the county. That 50 goes to the county plus the additional 55.
Now,
To the
when you say
county.
county, does it go to the general or does it go to the sheriff's department? Where does it go?
It goes according to this. It goes to the treasurer of the unit of local government of the arresting agency. It does not go. It goes to the county. It goes to the county general. Now that can be used for the sheriff's department. It can be used for.
Out of like, say interstate tickets, then we'll get, say 55 to the general and then plus another 50, is what you're saying?
Yes.
So we'll get 105 out of each one of those tickets for revenue, just regular speed.
Just regular speeding tickets. That's correct. With an additional 20 going into the automation fund and 20 going into the document storage fund.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just asking about the general.
Yeah, just general fund.
Yeah,
You're correct.
So 105, okay. What do we have right now coming into that out of each ticket? How much rise? How much of a raise is it?
I didn't print that out to bring that specifically. It is an increase. Of course, with a $120 ticket now, it is, that gets divvied up among several different areas. So that is an increase.
Y'all got any more questions on that?
That's it. Good job.
Gerald, you got anything?
We'll put it in for the vote.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution as written for the civil fees and criminal and traffic assessing.
I second that.
Let's do roll call.
Yeah.
Jason Farmer,
Yes.
Gerald Childers,
Yeah.
and Jeff Berger.
Yes.
Haley, what resolution number would that be?
I'm not sure, you'll have to ask Lynn, cause she'll have to look it up.
Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna note that on my copy. So.
Is there anything for us to sign or? No? Thought there was
Yes,
I had the original, it doesn't have anything on it.
it doesn't have a signature page on it. Okay. Let me get that over to you.
okay.
I'll get that. I'll have,
We'll probably hear at least 10 today.
okay. I'll have them bring that over to you. All right. Okay.
Thank you, John.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Do you want Mr. Fox to go ahead and go, or does it matter to you?
No, that's fine with me.
Is that all right with you?
It's fine with me.
Yeah, let's just come on up here and do it, people.
How you doing?
Good, are you?
Not too bad.
What's going on, bud?
I just want to come talk to you about health insurance.
Okay.
I know you probably spoke with some of our representatives about problems with health insurance. I'm still having current issues.
Okay. Could you just describe to the board what your issues are? So everybody knows?
Some of it's, I'm getting overpaid, or past due notices on some of my bills and things like that. I know Jody's trying to handle as much of it as she can. I don't know a lot of it. A lot of the stuff is still due from back in September when I first started having some health issues and went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it's gotten covered now, but there's still some odd and end stuff that's coming in that's that's getting past due.
Okay.
You know, like I said, I've talked to Jody, I've talked to different ones about it and trying to get it straightened out as best I can, but it's not seem like it's getting very far very fast.
I thought we were caught up with it. Is there still some outstandings there, Jody, that
He
hasn't?
brought me one the other day that is, it's, my understanding is when he went to the Blue Cross Blue Shield,
Mhm.
that this one was, I'll say for a better lack of term, this was stuck in the middle of between going from Blue Cross Blue Shield back to Mutual Medical. And so it was, went to Blue Cross Blue Shield and they denied it, and so it can't, it's coming back, so it has to be
Reissued or something?
reissued. Uh-huh.
Is there any way for us to fast track that so it doesn't, you know, I mean, we just, obviously we don't want it to, you to have the
Well, I've got to call into the,
issue of worrying about it.
Well,
I've got to call into the
it's
provider.
starting to, I've been
Wear
having
and tear
trouble.
on you.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the doctor's offices. I mean, I'm getting to where I have to call to make sure I can still go.
Yeah,
You know, I went one time and I had to come up with the money that day, you know.
we don't want that.
I wasn't prepared for
Yeah.
that, you know, but I did. I dug up enough cash to get it covered that day. And I don't know, a lot of it seems like whatever Mr. Billington's got this set up on, however he's done this to switch it over to Blue Cross Blue Shield, that's where a lot of the problem began.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know how or exactly why it's done like that, but it,
Is there any outstanding bills besides that you know of, Jody, with Mr.
For
Foss?
him?
Yeah.
No.
I've got two more
because,
here with me.
Oh, he says he has two.
Two more, okay.
Yeah,
How much
so,
are-
Because, you know,
they're not sizable. The one from Baptist, I put my glasses on. Can't see nothing anymore.
I know how it is.
This one here is $259.42. It's from back 12, well, the earliest was 12/6/18. Some laboratory stuff and,
Is it like MabCorp or something?
no, it doesn't really say.
Okay, that's fine. Wonder why that hasn't been paid anything, Jody? Is that just not went through the system or?
if it's in December,
Yeah,
if that's the date of service and that's the day they issue the check, because December's haven't been paid yet. I just now got caught up through November of 2018 for all the medical.
okay.
Then this one here is from the hematology group in Paducah. It's $179. It was for office visit, blood work, stuff like that.
When was it?
January 8th, looks like, was the office visit. Some of it was back in October of 2018, looks like.
Now, the ones for October should be paid.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how that, it's just showing a charge of $163, looks like. Like I said, some of it's been paid, some of it hasn't, and, you know, I don't know about this Billington guy, but when he switched me over to Blue Cross Blue Shield, I didn't trust it, and it's, the Blue Cross Blue Shield paid right off on everything, but I know he, when I talked to him after I found out I wasn't gonna have to have no major surgery done, he said, well, we'll just let you stay on it till we find out for sure. Well, I think that's where a lot of the trouble began, because the premium wasn't being paid, and he was just gonna let it ride to lapse of non-payment, you know, is what it amounted to for premiums. Is what he kept telling me, because they kept sending me duns on paying the premiums, you know, so.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of the problem stems from. But,
We'll reach out to Jeremy and talk to him and find out, and
okay,
and I'm sure, I mean, you know, I'm sure we have the money in the account to pay these bills here, so it shouldn't be an issue.
like I said, what you do, where you don't, that's, that's not the big issue. It's just that it seems to keep dragging on.
Okay. Are you off that, you're back on mutual medical?
Back on as far as I know, yeah. Yeah, I have been, so.
Do you know since when? What date?
Not exactly, because I don't know if he put me back on it or if it just switched after I went off the.
Well, I didn't know, like, when you go to the doctor, which insurance card you give them.
I give him the mutual medical I had, or whatever it's called now, health aid.
Does Jody have a copy of these?
No, I just got these just in the mail the last few days, so I was gonna let her get some copies of them and if she wants them. And, yeah.
Well, thank you. Is there anything else?
I think that's it.
We'll definitely follow up on it. We apologize for.
I know.
Are those the only two that are outstanding that's given?
That I know of right now, they just, like I said, they just came.
Did you find that copy of that other one we discussed last week?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I gotta call into that provider, but
Okay.
I've not received anything back
I
yet.
forgot who that was even with now.
Radiology.
Oh, yeah.
Just be sure to get her copies though, that way there's no interruption in your treatment.
Yeah. Like I said, these here, I don't think they're not really pushing hard for this, so.
Well, they will be.
Yeah, oh, I know they will. All right, thank you all.
If you want to. First, I need this signed. I got a note from the state of Illinois, and apparently
So Gary?
it hadn't been finished.
filled it out.
Oh, did he? Okay. Cool. Here's the copy of the liability expenses you wanted. Our balance looks good, but I do not have the insurance taken out of it yet that I have been paying and working on getting those insurance bills paid for hopefully December. We had a Thursday I received notice that, the script care that we do, that's payable every 2 weeks, sometimes it runs 2,000 plus up to close to 6,000. Last week's was $5,785, so that's gonna take a chunk out of that money that I need to pay bills with. But that's the current. So, and I've been working on Mr. Foss's insurance proactively on him. So those two that he brought in are just new ones as far as I know. Oh, thanks.
The balance is $101,484.
So like I said, I've got insurance that's gotta come out of there.
How much is that, you said?
Well, if I pay all the ones I have for December still left, it's over $45,000. Plus, that doesn't count this new one of the script care 5,700, so there's no way I can pay all of that at once. Trying to stretch it out over the month with that and trying to keep enough money for Haley to be able to pay bills as well, so we're trying to divide it between the two, so we have money to pay on old plus current, and Haley can do the same, pay on old and keep current. Just gotta stretch so far. We will be receiving $80,242.21 for Illinois funds. That should be dropping down today. It's still in the pending, but it says it was issued on the 6th.
How much was it?
$80,242.21.
So that bring our balance around $182,000.
Well, if you're not deducting the insurance I'm taking out. Then we will have payroll next week. We are going to be audited from the Illinois Department of Employment Security. They will be here July the 9th at 9:30. I'm not sure what all that requires and details. They sent a list, but they will be here on July the 9th at 9:30.
That post on December 31st, 2018, at 24,418 out of county, what was that over?
That was when we did that, took those 12 months, the $2,062 that we discussed, that we could take out of liability to pay for the mutual medical, the management payment.
Okay. What about what we discussed last week about the $38,000? I talked to,
The 32,000,
was
you
it
mean?
32?
$32,801.25.
I talked to Jeff Stroder. I know you and Christy talked to Jeff Stroder on Thursday.
Yes.
I talked to him as well. What's the determination there? Because Jeff, gave me an opinion on it. Are we going to be able to take that out of general fund and reimburse back to liability on that?
Christy sent me an email last evening, and she said that she is still searching into that. And when she finds out for sure, because she thinks it's restricted funds, that she will get with you, myself, and Josh and discuss it.
Okay. Well,
I don't know how soon that will be, but that was my word last night that I
talking to Jeff yesterday, he said that, as long as it was documented and it was paid back within the same year, it would not be an odd finding if we did that, and we've done it in the past. So, just didn't know it would free up $32,000 to pay more bills that people want to pay, so.
yes.
But anyway, I look forward to finding out what her decision is on that.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for her response.
All right, thank you.
And that is all I have. Anybody got anything, questions or comments?
All right, thank you, Joe.
Okay.
Is that a signature page? Yeah, we'll let us sign that real quick.
Yeah, and I can make copies and to attach to your
Okay.
copies once you get it.
Well, I guess you got to sign it.
How many copies do you think you need, Jason?
I don't think 4. 6 of us have a copy. Is that all right?
Do you need it? Go ahead and staple them? Yeah.
Keep the other thing. Yeah, that's mine. Thank you.
Is there another one? Gerald? Do you have your copy of the resolution? Can I have it so I can staple the signature page to it? Thank you. I'll be right back.
Jim, you want to come on up?
All right, how are you?
Excellent.
I don't have a whole lot, but I do have one sort of issue that I encountered this past week. These people up on the northern part of the county, just Smiths, particularly Earl and Gloria Smith, they've got this acreage that's landlocked, apparently. And I don't know whose fault it was it got landlocked, but I mean, apparently it was a deal where their brother owned this piece of ground, and then he passed away, and they split it up into 2 families, and the part that Earl and Gloria got is landlocked as far as not having a right-of-way or a road that connects to it. And the other Smiths that got some other properties between them and their acreage. In a nutshell, I haven't checked the validity of what they're telling me, but they had said that they had to go through a long court battle to get an easement through their brother's property to get to their property, and connecting to Travis Lane, which is the road district road, where Travis Lane is at. It's
It's unbelievably small. I mean, it looks like a four-wheeler path at best. I mean, it's something that's completely unimproved. You could get down it with a pickup truck, but that's about all I can say. Well, in other words, they want us to do a bunch of work on this road in order for them to get access to their property. The spot where they got this easement to connect this, an entrance to Travis Lane is probably the worst spot that you can possibly choose along this right-of-way. It's a 15-foot hill at a 1-to-1 slope about that, they're gonna have to do a lot of work to cut trees down and to cut the bank down in order to even access this property. And I pretty much told them that, look, that's all on you. I mean, it's your easement, it's your entrance, you're gonna have to construct it and take all these trees out in order to get onto your property. I mean, that's
What exactly are they wanting you to do?
They're wanting me, well, basically to improve Travis Lane up to this point, so that they can get access, but part of it has to deal with cutting some other, at least one significant large tree out of the right-of-way, and I'm not 100% sure it's all on the right-of-way or not. I mean, this is a serious tree. It's some kind of a unique chestnut oak or some kind of oak tree that's literally, the trunk is as big as these two tables put together. I mean, 6-8 foot diameter. I mean, this is a 100-foot tall tree. I mean, this is not something that we normally do. I mean, so they're asking me, you can get by it in a pickup truck now. It's obviously, this tree is, I'm saying it's at least 200 years old, maybe more than that. I mean, the tree was there way before this right-of-way was there. But they're wanting us to cut this down and do other, put gravel. I mean, I can understand putting gravel down and everything like that.
How long is this road that Travis Lane?
The total Travis Lane from New Hope Church Road to the back of what we have is like 6/10 of a mile. The front part of it, at least the front half of it probably, it's not good, but it's drivable. We just put some gravel on it not too long ago and get back. But then there's this back part of it that's basically needing a lot more work done to it. And it's not a tremendously long distance between where.
How did we get a county road leading into private property to dead end?
It's all over the county. We've got a bunch of them.
I mean, I know, but
I don't know. It's one of those things where we look at it and say, why in the world do we even have this road? I don't know.
Joe, is that right in front of where Ronnie Hines lived?
I don't know Ronnie Hines.
What do you know, Jack Medley?
Yeah.
Is that right
across the street?
Huh?
Across the street there, where it connects.
I know where that road is.
Yeah. That's it right there.
Okay. Well then, does that go down the bluff?
Thank you, Becky.
It stops short of the bluff. No. It goes all the way back to a gate that somebody had to access their properties. I think Travis Brothers own one side of it and the Smiths own the other side of
Well,
it.
yeah, Smith lives in the corner, has a farm there in the county road where you make that bend to go to that road there.
Okay, yeah.
That's
the Smiths.
Smith owns that.
Anyway, I'm gonna have to check with Josh's office about legalities of right-of-way and all this, that, and the other. I mean, I think we would be within our bounds as far as authority to do this kind of work, but it's
just a tree rotting,
no. I mean,
posing any kind of threat to falling, or
no. I mean, their whole purpose of wanting it cut is because they want to get logging semis back there, which I have my doubts that that's going to happen anyway. But you can get by it right now with a pickup truck. I did it yesterday, but with a large semi or something like that, I don't know that you can. And I don't know. I mean, it's just a whole lot of work for us to do for the guy that access the property with a specific type of truck. I don't know how this all came about. That's another thing I'm gonna have to research as to how they got a court decision on an easement to connect to a certain part of the road that's, they never consulted with anybody on whether you could even connect to the road there. I don't know if that's normal for the court system to do that kind of thing without checking with somebody first, or, I just don't know. I mean, it's all of a sudden came up at once. I mean, the thing that they got going for it is Travis Lane is ours. I mean, there's no argument. It is a road district road. I mean, it is ours. I mean, you know, at minimum, I think we can probably smooth it out, get the mud holes out of it, put
So
some.
you get a big enough machine back there, it's that tight of a road. You'd have to have an excavator back there, and it would, you'd never get it, you'd have to crawl it all the way down there. And then there would be nowhere for the truck to put it on.
Yeah, we'd have to unload the excavator out on New Hope Road and go back down there.
You'd have to have someone back a semi all the way down there just to haul it out.
So I'm not sure what to tell the man about cutting that tree. I mean, I don't know, that's why I wanted to talk to Josh maybe a little bit about it, a little bit more, to see what.
Whose ground is the timber on that they want to cut?
They want to cut timber on their acreage that's landlocked out there. It's Earl Smith.
Oh, the Earl.
Yeah. And that's who I'm talking to about this easement. It's Earl Smith and his son Kyle and his wife Gloria.
What, don't Earl Smith, does he own that place there in that curve I was telling you about, or is that Burl?
That's his brother.
It is. Looks like they let him go
Well,
around that tree.
I think the only property that I know of that Earl owns is this 40 acres that's kind of landlocked in the middle of nowhere. And that's why supposedly he had to go through a court battle to get this easement, because he didn't have any access from any other direction. I mean, just constructing an entrance off of Travis Lane is going to be a construction feat. I mean,
Yeah,
you would,
take a big radius to get a semi out of there.
yeah, I mean, it's going to take a lot of earthwork, and I honestly don't know how they're going to accomplish the earthwork if his brother won't let him get on his property,
Well, that's true.
because you have to push the earth somewhere. You have to get it out of there somehow. And I don't know if they're just not thinking this through, or the whole thing started apparently because these brothers hate each other and they can't get along.
I know.
I believe I'd let them fight that out for any farther with the tree.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I could just tell them, you know, look, I'll consider the tree, but you're gonna have to construct everything else before I even begin on the tree to see if you can even get done what you're talking about. I'm not just gonna go in there and cut this tree.
Sounds like to me he doesn't have a staging area for his logs, if it's all straight up from where the access point is.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta have an access road to, or access point to put all your logs, and then be able to put a semi in there to turn around and load all them logs. You couldn't even get a skidder in there, sounds like.
right now you can't. Depending on what they build. I mean, if it were me, I would surely try to work it out some other way.
I'd sure let them fight it out for any farther with the tree. Sounds like a lot of work for nothing.
We always seem to get into these things on these dead-end roads in the furthest part of the county. I don't understand it.
How long is that road? Joe?
Travis Lane,
Yeah.
it's 6/10 of a mile
60.
from
Little
New
over
Hope
half
Road
mile.
back. A little over half, yeah, a little over half.
There's a lot of rock on that, wouldn't it? Is there any rock on it? They go back there.
There is some rock on it on the front part of it. First quarter mile is pretty decent. Once you start getting back to the last quarter mile, it's pretty
There's
bad.
one of the Travis boys lives back there. Is there a barn in the old house back there?
I don't think anybody lives back there on Travis Lane. It would be, maybe there's a barn back there. There could be an old house somewhere back there, but I don't think anybody lives in there if there is. I think the only thing that people go back there for is to maybe feed cattle or something. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's even true. I don't know. It doesn't look like anybody's been down this road in a while. I guess that's the latest and greatest fiasco I'm involved in.
Where you all mowing right now? Can't.
To be honest with you, I don't know where they're at. I know they're out, but I don't know where they're at. We went east in the first part, so I'm not sure if they're up towards the north or where they're at now. You didn't get any calls?
No.
Oh.
I was just curious.
Okay.
No.
I didn't know if somebody.
I mean, I'm sure there's some high areas.
$18.
Yeah. This is the first go through. First go through.
CA-11.
Yeah, Dad needs to look at that.
You know, anytime you get CA-11, they put more on there than you want.
Dad wants to load up at his house too. Is that where you put the other one?
CA-11?
Yeah. 1 inch clean or whatever?
Yeah. 3/4.
Whatever it is, 3/4. They won't count it, make sure I had that in there right.
Yeah. I put it in my bill, I'm not gonna get it.
If there was 280 in there, would you tell me?
Yeah. Sure would.
What's going on?
Kind of make you aware of either next payroll or one after that. Could be a larger payroll due to some upcoming retirements.
Okay.
Just a
Something-
lot larger.
Yeah.
Just JD?
Yeah.
Would there be additional one besides that, or just him?
Well, when Ted retires, there, would be some also. He had time built up from before, but that won't be for later. But at this point right now, the concern would be
JD.
JD stuff.
Do we have a number yet on that?
So I'm speaking with Ted the other day, we started looking at numbers on it.
That way we can kind of be prepared.
Yes.
Do you know what that is yet?
It should be somewhere around 41,000.
And how do y'all figure that y'all have some type of file that has all that in there, and you'll give us a copy of all that?
Yes, actually, I just, I was going through Ted's book on timesheets.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, a large portion would be sick time that's been accrued over the years.
Okay.
Any comp time that's been built up, personal time and vacation time.
Okay. And so you'll give us all 3 different categories, so that way we
I
can have it.
already got it out, made it out on the spreadsheet.
Okay.
That shows exactly the time he has
Okay.
built up to this point.
All right.
Actually got that ready already.
Good deal. Okay. And you're expecting that to be
2 weeks and 2 paychecks or 2 payrolls?
Yes, I need to speak with him. Ted's out of town this week. When he comes back Monday, I was gonna speak with him also about sitting down and talking to JD about it on what's the best course of action to get that taken care of.
Because there's a payroll on the 19th, and then another one would be, what, July 3rd or something? I think.
And technically his last day is the 30th
Of July or June?
of June.
Okay. So it'd probably be that first payroll of July, I guess.
That's preliminary for right now, yeah. Maybe we can speak with him about what's best for him and for the county all the way around.
Yeah. He might just want that to keep getting something around once 2 weeks, or maybe once a big one, whatever it is.
Kind of like one of those Bobby Bonilla New York Mets contracts.
That's right.
But with that coming in, I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure you're aware of it for allotted money.
Yeah, it is.
When you do 37, 38 years, whatever he has,
Yeah.
and he hardly ever takes off.
Right.
That adds up over time.
Sure does, yeah.
How's tickets going?
Actually, yesterday was one of the, I don't know if you call it wildest or fastest day out there, I guess. The crossover started last week.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of figuring with the crossover coming in that it would kind of slow itself down.
Yeah.
we were wrong, very wrong.
The NASCAR style out there.
It seemed that, well, yesterday they had
Pocono.
a lot of equipment in there. They were taking out the eastbound bridge yesterday with track holes, several workers out there. And in about 10 hours, there were 49 citations written in 10 hours, and every one of them were 20 miles an hour or more over.
Yeah.
So it seems to speed them up a little bit for some reason.
Yeah.
Kind of figured it would slow down, but
Yeah.
it did not at all.
It's amazing. At least they're out there protecting those workers, trying to make things safer.
They're out there with them right now.
So we appreciate that. Y'all full over there?
Yes, very full. Matter of fact, we're having some issues on where to place people because running out of room.
You probably have what, 42, 43, 44?
Well, count yesterday was 42.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess you've seen press release put out about the blasting for Dam 52 that's coming up.
Yeah.
We'll be assisting them to a certain point. I gotta meet with the company also, but part of our responsibility was blocking the Brookport boat ramp during certain hours of the day, helping them out with that to make sure
People don't go down and get close to it.
well, either that or try to put a boat in.
Yeah.
They're gonna have patrol boats out there, at least in the beginning of it. Us to go down there and ensure that people aren't trying to put boats in, get close to it at first, and kind of gauge the situation on later on down the road, if we're needed there or not. My understanding is they're gonna be doing small blasts every day at noon. They've got a 2-year contract, so, yeah, it will go on for quite some time.
Sounds like. That Brookport Bridge, is it supposed to be down till November?
November 1st was
That's what they're claiming.
put out. Yeah, that's out.
If not longer.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's because you don't realize how much you use it or depend on it until it gets closed down.
What's bad is, what's scary is if something happens to the interstate bridge right now, it'll cut off all medical, all jobs, all,
Everything.
everything. And then, I mean, city metropolis being deep doo-doo.
They said 5,000 cars a day travel that bridge.
And that bridge isn't in the best of shape.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play it by ear and see what happens there and make where we are. Helping out that company that's gonna be doing the blasting right now.
When are they gonna start that?
As soon as the water level goes below the dam, we're expecting either the end of this month or the first of next month, depending on when it quits raining.
Good deal. That's all I have. Mr. Kelly, unless you have anything else?
No?
You guys,
Good for now. All right.
appreciate it. Have a good day.
Thank you.
See you.
Hey, will you be attending the sheriff's office, you have a session?